Pretty straightforward. I've been trying to get Peter to play for the Barbarians for a long time. Obviously, time is finite for him now, and he's got this last opportunity. He's retiring from international rugby, and he's a bloke who's got a huge amount of respect around the globe. So it just seemed like the obvious appointment. He's the first bloke I spoke to once I was offered the gig, and he was keen, which was great.
En jou lock selection of two South African born forwards, lock forwards, Van Heerden and David Evans. Is it just to maybe counter the boxing in that department with also strong?
Well, we had Dave last year for a fixture against Fiji at Twickenham, and he was outstanding. Obviously, it depended on results of top 14. Fortunately or unfortunately, it depends which way you look at it. He missed out there, but was able to get here. Quite an exercise getting those blokes here. Himself, Lester, Whanuku, and Mervyn Yamada, obviously. But great to have them because they're all quality players. And it's been a big effort by them to get here, but we're delighted to have Dave, who obviously is South African. He's an international lock. Been denied that courtesy of his club decisions, but it'll be great for the locals to see him play and see him play against his own, and Ruben likewise. He's obviously been on the cusp of international rugby, and I've got no doubt he'll be highly motivated as well.
And lastly, from my side, you mentioned Lester now, but the centre partnership between him and Peter Malmö-Jensen is two big lads. Is that selection basically to penetrate the Springbok influence and open up the space on the outside?
Yeah, it's great. Once again, great to have those blokes available. Lester's actually coming back into international rugby, so he opted out through his decision to play in France, but he's returning to New Zealand. I've got no doubt we'll see him in the All Blacks. And those two know each other, and I'm sure they'll play very instinctively, but yes, they have a physical presence, so we want to play, we want to use the whip, particularly with Mervyn at the back, and Jacob, who's a young man, but you'll see more of in the future on one side. We want to get those guys involved. To do that, you've got to be effective down the ground first. You can't get the ball to the edge, particularly against South Africa, if you don't create some momentum. So, yeah, it'd be great to see all of them carrying the ball.
Actually, Springboks are taking it seriously. Brett Russell's been a strong side. He spoke in the week about getting the international season off to a good start and almost suggest potential banana peel. Is that a sign of respect to the professionals you have here and the group you've put together?
Oh, I think it's a sign of respect for the Springbok jersey first and foremost. Playing at home, obviously, the Barbarians is a well-known brand. This is the first occasion that we've played each other in Africa. So, yeah, Rassie doesn't like losing at the best of times.
And when you have a group, and obviously, from what we can see, guys coming different times of the week and, all together a little bit, but, when you've got a group of seasoned pros like this, I mean, is there still a winning mentality that exists in the build up to a game like this? So they still sit there believing that few things fall the right way and can't pull something off.
Well, you always hope for that, but they're proud men. And as you quite rightly say, they're all capable in their own right. A lot of them have got some big histories. They've got like Sam Cane, obviously Peter, Keane Healy. So that blokes like that, when they strap the boots on, they strap them on to compete. So, and we want the experience to be good for them. So we one training run, we've done what we can to present ourselves in a way where we can be competitive.
Robbie, just in terms of the challenge you're expecting from the Springboks, what are the areas you're being focused on? So far, there is quite some rain expected on Saturday. Just the challenge in terms of Barbarians playing style, you spoke about want to get the ball to the wingers. Just a challenge surrounding that.
But I guess the one thing from our perspective is when these guys who love representing the BaaBaas, when they get the opportunity to play, And with the history of the club, we want to add to that. Part of that is courage, flair. So we want to bring all of the above. And we will try to, but obviously, as you said, South Africa are taking it seriously. They're preparing for an international season. They don't want to suffer at our hands, so they'll be trying to deny everything, all of our initiatives. But that's great. Both teams will be positive. Both have a lot of good reasons to play and play well and provide a spectacle for the public who are turning out regardless of the weather.
What do you know of from the Springbok management, the addition of Jerry and Tony and so on? Is it sort of scary prospect for the rest of the teams and all that?
Rassie's a very creative man. He always has been. So he'll always look for points of difference, points of advantage. And that's what he's done with Tony. And Tony's a very good attack coach. So he's added some dimensions to the game, and obviously they've been working together for a while now. And they're building towards the World Cup, so they'll be getting a better understanding of how they want to roll. And that's what Rassie does. He comes to the challenges. He never sits still. He offers opportunity for the next generation, and he responds to what he sees. So it's a very vibrant place to be as a player, and vibrant as an opponent, because I think they keep coming in there and keep throwing new challenges at you.
It's as if the gulf is going to open up between Springboks and Barbarians in the national stadium.
The margins are small at international level, but yes, the facts speak for themselves. Springboks have won the last 2 World Cups. That's quite an achievement. That's not easy to do. As was the case, we saw 3 1-point wins essentially, but that's what good teams do. So they get home, they find a way to win.
Robbie, with Sam, for the first time out in coaching world, just can we speak to us a bit about the value he's added to the squad?
Oh, it's great. We go back a long way. So his last game, just like Peter, his last game was last year for the Barbarians against Fiji. Fortunately, I asked him to play, asked him to be captain, and then also added at the end that he's going to be the line-out coach as well, which allowed me to pull him off the field at about the 70-minute mark, which he wasn't very happy about. But he's a great great rugby man. Lives and breathes the game. He will be a coach. You'll see a lot more, but he's also very busy domestically. He's back on the farm. He's developing that. That's taking a lot of his time, but at some point he will go from a part-timer to a career coach, I suspect. Just knowing how often he thinks about the game.
Robbie, you've been coaching in Japan for many years now. Tell us about that, and if joining the Barbarians again has sparked your outlet maybe to want to coach nationally, internationally again.
Japan's been great. I went there thinking I'd be there for a couple of years, and I'm still there. And the reason for that is we've enjoyed it. Penny and I have enjoyed it. Our family have enjoyed it. They're worried I'm going to stop. I always thought I'd end up in France, to be fair, but we go there for a break, and we just decided that it's better just to go there for a break, a vacation, and enjoy it that way than turn it into a place of work where it may kill our enthusiasm. So, still going. The rugby's great in Japan, and there's a large number of the Springboks understand that, appreciate that. We've got Damien Diall on there, and Lou Diaga. And they love the time they get to themselves, so they get to spend longer with their families, with their kids. They get to touch the ball more. And yeah, it's stimulating. It's a great culture, very safe place. Food is amazing. No such thing as a bad feed in Japan. So it just works. Yeah.
Yeah. And your evolution as a coach, do you still dream of one coaching All Blacks?
No, I'm good, thanks.
How would you say you've evolved your culture?
You do evolve. If you're in the saddle, you're learning all the time. It's whether it's by osmosis or otherwise, doesn't matter. You are as a coach. You just get better for every experience. And sometimes the bad ones are as good as the good ones. I've been very lucky as a coach. I've had 2 franchises, 2 nations, met some great people and had some great experiences. And Barbarians for me captures all of the above. It captures everything that's good about rugby. It's an international game, the cultures, the different approaches, and it's the ultimate challenge to get a group of blokes for 1 week where you got to put a whole campaign into 1 week. When I first experienced this challenge, I appreciated what it was offering me. It made me, when I went back to my day job, to think about, well, what really is important? Because you don't have any time to waste in the BaaBaas context. And we've only had 1 full training, essentially. So you got to be hitting the right points, making sure you're not wasting words, and making sure, most importantly, that you're catering for your players' needs, because it's about them.
Robbie, I wanted to do the quick on you. You were assistant coach to John Mitchell in 2003 at Loftus. And after the game, you guys won 52-16. It was a great exhibition of rugby. And I remember you being asked afterwards a question about that, and you pointed out that you wished more games were played in the daylight.
Correct.
And in the dry. And also, obviously, the conditions suited you. I mean, it's a very different sort of weather conditions that you encounter on Saturday. I mean, you must really wish that you did have an opportunity to play. Firstly, is that going to, how much is the weather going to impact your growth? BaaBaas, and secondly, I mean, do you not playing something there? It might be more like it was an office that day.
No, not at all. That's a good thing. I've had another 22 years experience since then. Yeah, look, it'd be great for the public, particularly this. It is a spectacle. BaaBaas fixtures. You know, for me, the 1973 encounter at Carter Farms Park was what really latched me onto rugby. I thought, how good is this? This is a game I'd love to play. And lucky enough to have Alex Wiley, who lived in that community, who I knew as well. But no, that doesn't matter. That's rugby. And, you know, you got to earn respect in the first instance, earn the right to go forward, and then hopefully you get the opportunity to play, which we did that day. It was a special day. We went from there, just to finish the story, we went from there to Sydney Football Ground, put 50 around the Wallabies on the way home. And the next fixture was a Bledisloe Cup fixture to win the Bledisloe Cup, which we won at Eden Park. A harder game against Wallabies, we won it, and it's been there ever since. Don't remind me of that, though.
Robbie, I think the last round there was most of these games. If you look at the box and the Barbarians have been quite close. I think the Barbarians have won more than the box. And your history at playing with the company of the Crusaders has been a good one. Do you think it will be a close game? I think at the last time it was a 31-all draw.
It was. Yeah, I was coaching that day too at Wembley. Yeah. I hope it's close for our sake. You know, we want to give the Bucks good prep for their international program, but most of all, we want to show how much we value this privilege, because it is a privilege. These guys they want to put up a good show. The rest will unfold. We won't stress over that, and that's what's unique to Barbarians rugby is there should be no fear. You have a crack, you give it your best crack, and there is no consequence, so to speak. So hopefully we've got some blokes who will play international rugby who have no history of that, but we've given some young blokes some opportunity. Josh Jacob, Josh Bero, and obviously Jacob on the wing. So you'll see more of these guys in the future, and that's part of the Barbarians concept, is to give new guys a crack, give old blokes a good send-off. Most importantly, play a good brand of rugby and respect the history of the game and leave it in a better place so that we can inspire some next generation players. I love coming to Cape Town. I love coming to South Africa. It's a rugby destination. I'm very excited about the series next year. I've just got to clear the way so I can get here. But from a Crusaders perspective, we had some great occasions here. There's always been a good relationship between the Stormers players and the Crusaders players. We would host each other. Henny Becker started a lot of it for me. He hosted my management team every year. And that's what the game's about. Yes, we go toe to toe when the whistle blows, but there's a respect, particularly between our two nations.
Talking about the two nations, Eden Park, with that, later on.
Yeah,
Is
you're
that,
thinking about it already.
yeah, is that going to be probably like a World Cup final? After?
Absolutely. I've got no doubt. Rassie's got that date marked in his calendar, as will Razor. It'll be a great occasion.
Well done. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you.